it's you. Come on in and join us.
Hey, y'all, we have a modern cologne homage today from Gotham Soap and Pasteur Pharmacy.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, come on in your chairs. Wait and join the chat if you're here during the premiere. The Whiff Packs hanging out. They're an awesome group of folks. And we'd love to meet you too. And what's our mention
today? This is our second bowl that we've gotten from Haley's Artisan. And
mine has sprinkles.
It's true. And mine is my purple gold. And there's actually kind of like a cool little green base going on here.
And it's just the way the colors transition.
Yeah, and there's a nice little epoxy so you'll see as we lather a little bit later.
And it matches our patina brush from Sean Smulders, so it's even cooler. So
yeah.
Love that. So we're going to try that on for size today. And our soap today, y'all, is from Gotham Soap Company in partnership with Pasteur Pharmacy in New York City, which makes sense because this is an homage to an iconic and infamous New York neighborhood from the last century. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all. So from the sales page at Pasteur Pharmacy, this is actually a product of Pasteur. They created this soap.
Cool.
All right, here we go.
In the late 1800s, Paul Kelly commanded an army of 1,500 mobsters engaged in a fierce battle over New York's Five Points neighborhood.
These thugs ran massive racketeering and prostitution rings while also finding time to brawl with their arch rivals, Monk Eastman's Jewish gang. Gunfire often echoed beneath 2nd Avenue's elevated train line as these criminals battled for underworld dominance, violence that corrupt politicians from Tammany Hall falsely legitimized.
There were no rules or limits. This lawless part of Manhattan felt more akin to the Wild West than urban America. Wow.
And to
That's
partner
intense.
with this infamous slum, we bring you one of the most beautiful scents to come out of the last 10 years in the fragrance world, y'all. This is an homage to Baccarat Rouge 540, something that we have become giant fans of over the last few months. And if this is anything like the Bowery Boy soap, that homage, y'all, to Tobacco Oud.
That led us down a fun lane, too.
That's the best homage I have found. I went on a mission after we opened that soap to find one, and that's the best one. That's just the best one. So that's why I'm excited about this.
Pasteur's going to do it. They're going all in.
This could be as high level as they come. Let's open the box. This is how they come.
I think we have two more left.
Light.
Yeah, we got two more left.
This is far too light. We need to place another order. I hate it when they get this light. Here it is.
There we go.
5 points something. Ooh.
Very fun New York kind of vibe.
The
color.
Sierra Nevada red dirt color to the soap underneath there. Love that, right? That means business is being done. And there she is. I love the graphics on this. And
you were looking up like the 5 Points is actually the actual location in New York,
it was
right?
a cross streets and then a 3rd Street dead ended there. And that's why it became this like infamous little triangle of New York in the 18 and 1900s. So yeah, you wouldn't want to get caught there after dark.
Boys, speaking of.
It's so funny that that's connected with such a high-level, beautiful, luxurious scent, right? But
it is.
Ooh, there must be some connection hiding under the surface connecting these two. Why don't we have a first impression? All right, y'all, I'm excited because this is a new venture at Pasteur Pharmacy, and their first one that we tried, the Bowery Boys, was luxurious on every level.
You passing
the
this to
scent,
me?
the lather, I am passing
I'm
this
going
to
first.
You're going to go first. I'm going to ask you questions. Now, we do know what this smells like. As I mentioned before, there are homages and there are homages. So let's see.
And it's fun to see what the nose of the artisan kind of picks up on. Like, clearly they're inspired and they're blatantly saying it's Baccarat 540. But it is interesting to see how the scent comes together. Sometimes it just formulates a little different in the soap base or something. So I'm actually curious, now that we know what the secret is that's in Baccarat 540, I am curious how that comes through here. The
central scent note, which we have not yet said today because I kind of want to spring that on you in the next section. All right, take it in.
Wow, you are so right. Look at that color.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Wow, okay.
Take it in. What do you get?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's undeniably from what we've smelled.
Hold on.
I gotta say.
I was not expecting her face to light up like that with a scent that we are already familiar with. So that means there is something special going on in here, y'all.
It's completely what it is. I mean, I have not smelled the original Baccarat 540, but it's a wonderful balance, and it's bright and it's fun. And the cool part to this scent, which I know we've kind of talked about in some of our other episodes, is that it really is right down that center lane. It could be masculine, it could be feminine, but either way, it has a really fun personality to it. And it's so, my sister even came over the other day and
put it on.
She didn't know what it was. She just took a whiff of it and she's like, wait.
We got like 25 EDPs she could have put on. That was the one she chose, y'all. So it makes perfect sense to me.
So,
love it. Yeah, y'all, I think Baccarat Rouge 540 is an evolution of scents. I think it was taking what was happening in the 80s and 90s with things that were like more on the darker side, and then those got lightened up with the birth of CK1. And then that kind of became like the Creed generation and those kind of lighter scents. And then taking it from those cooler, lighter scents back into the warms.
Yes.
What is the central scent note in Baccarat Rouge 540?
So we did not know this until we met this scent, but it's actually saffron.
Y'all, what a brilliant idea. Something that sort of splits the lane between those sort of spicier, darker scents and the lighter mints and bergamots and those that are in all of those new ones. Because you're not going backwards into the patchoulis and the tobaccos, and you're not sort of doubling down on the bergamots and the mints and those lighter things. You are finding a brand new lane, and that saffron seems to have the best of both worlds. And then what do you find that they built out around it? And I think I need to help you with this, Mike.
Well, no, but what I was going to say too is a lot of the times when we smell some of these, you can pick out things that are familiar.
Right.
This scent to me was just a whole new scent altogether. And then what you were saying, stuff around it, like you can't necessarily figure out, is this more a powdery scent? Is this more a spice? It's really hard to kind of figure out, and I find that intriguing. And I think that's why people latch onto it immediately.
And we've had a ton of people smell this, y'all, because this is such an amazing scent. And when they do, they never catch on, like what's in the middle. We have to tell them.
But it's intriguing enough.
Saffron.
You keep whiffing.
Yeah, as soon as they do, they go, wow, I get it. What a brilliant idea, right? And I'm going to put my flag in this now. I'm not sure who the perfumer is behind this label, but y'all, the Bowery Boys is the absolute best version of that original cologne, the Tobacco Oud, that I have found.
You know, like it really does, because we've had a few where we do like the EDP kind of homages, and once the dry down hits, it does smell a little different than the immediately first whiff.
There's just a butteriness to this. There's an intensity to this that like, here it is. I think with like certain scents, if it's a little bit too light, you're not really getting the whole thing, as if you're listening to a piece of music where it's not quite turned up enough, and you're not quite getting all the instruments in the background. You're not quite getting what the drum is doing. You can't quite sense the reverb on the singer. But this, y'all, this is turned up in your headphones to the absolute perfect level, so that not only are you sensing the strength of the singer in this saffron, but you're able to catch all of the subtleties and nuances in these scent notes that are swirling around in the background. And for me, that is so crucial. That is so, because it's never just about the singer. It's never just about John Fogerty. It's about Creedence Clearwater, and that's what makes that sound. So when the central scent note is kind of the only thing you can really sense in an homage, it's lovely, and you definitely get it. But I love when it's been balanced, formulated, and turned up with the intensity so that you can experience all of those little underlying scent notes that are helping support that saffron. Because for me, that's where the magic in here is being done.
Well, it's funny because I think we just remember thinking Baccarat 540. We think saffron. But in this mix, you can really tell there's a lot of things holding up the saffron that's happening.
Right. What do you get?
And my brain wants it to be more of a powdery kind of side of things, but it's not.
Smoother,
I don't know.
Buttery side for me.
But it's not a normal powder. It's just like where my brain is like trying to stick it into it.
Yeah. The other day we had one with vanilla powder in it. And I was like, oh, that's different.
Right. It's different.
I get that.
And there's something that's keeping this from getting dark. It's keeping it brighter, but it's not like a citrusy in your face brighter.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a floral that you know, but there's something in it that's making it still be in that mid pretty zone, I feel like.
Right. And you know what? We need to go down to the 5 points to find these scent notes. Taxi! All right, y'all, back to the sales page at PasteurPharmacy.com.
All right, for scent notes, it lists out dupe of Baccarat 540, an amber floral, fragrance for women and men.
What a beautiful way to say that.
And even look at this color. Like,
floral.
it really does make sense. Like, that is what my brain gets, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, top notes are saffron and jasmine.
Oh, there is a floral. Okay.
Whoa. Okay, wait a minute. Because jasmine's a very specific floral.
But I think it disappears right away into that.
You know what? They're doing what you do with reverb in music. You turn it up so you can hear the reverb on the singer. And then you turn it down until you can't really hear it anymore. And that's where you want it. That's what they've done with the jasmine. It's still there. It's still there. They've just turned it down so the saffron hits first right where it should. And the jasmine's there for the echoes.
Yeah, how do they time that? But that is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like, that just takes you in right away.
Beautiful. And then middle notes of amberwood and ambergris, which on all the videos we saw this morning, people were saying 9 different ways. Ambergris?
That's funny.
But if you don't know what it is, you ought to go down that rabbit hole where ambergris.
There's something so mysterious and intriguing about this scent.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what time I'm in.
Right.
I can't tell if it's a current scent. I can't tell if it's an homage from back in the day. Or even like a futuristic scent. It is just such its own thing.
Well, so I think everybody has a little bit of nostalgia for the scents that you've worn before. And so you don't necessarily want the same scent notes, but you want just an echo of the vibe of what's been done. And then that's kind of transformed into what's new and striking. And
even coming next,
saffron.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and then the base notes are fir resin and cedar. So classic fun, you know, things that you think you know, but they are twisted in such a fun, new way that you can't even find those. I mean, they're there. They're clearly making part of the scent. But I do think if we lather this up, maybe some of these might change where we kind of get a whiff of them when, you know?
I want you to see this soap lather. It is quite a thing.
All right.
All right, here we go. Now, ready? Let's see. No foam. No foam.
New
and foam.
in action here, people.
Well, that was fast. Nice.
Wow, that was immediately. Look at it.
I love when there's a lip on the edge of the bowl that kind of keeps the lather contained.
And it does. It's nice with these bowls that have the grooves in it because it really does kind of control where the soap gets in there. It's just a happy lather immediately.
Okay, so I've kind of been wanting to ask this question. The cedar is such a beautiful singer. It's almost asking like when you go see Elvis, it's almost asking like how the second bass guitar sounded. I don't know. I was listening to Elvis.
Right, they're all there.
But if you're not really smelling for that saffron, what are you getting in Baccarat Rouge 540? Do they give it enough room for those other bass notes to have a bit of an identity? Or is it more just like the sweet inspirations with Elvis?
So I think it's happening more over here. Like I'm getting a little more depth now that we've kind of broken it out in a lather.
All right, y'all. You'll only see this on the Barbershop Duet. This is the 5-way stop whiff. Here we go. And on 3, 1, 2. Oh.
Right?
Oh.
There's the depth here. And actually the amberwood, that mid-range is really different.
Just think of these as the concentrates and this. This is what you want to
I'm glad we whipped that up.
Sometimes the water and the lather
it must,
really
whatever
make a
it
difference.
is, I do get more depth and like that undertone underneath all the saffron that's happening.
This trotter brush is just a miracle. Y'all look at that. Look at the lather on
the lather I woke up immediately. I really didn't do much. It was a happy lather.
Pasteur, this is just a high level base. We love this. It's the same one that's on the Bowery Boys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's responding immediately.
And y'all, the transit authority says they're putting in a subway. We might have to go a little deep.
So now that we've busted the lather open, give it another little deeper whiff and see if there's a certain time of day or like, you know, when we would want to use it. Because it's such a different scent. I don't know if I want to have it when I would wear for like a new fun memory, like going to a new place or something. You know, it's a different smell.
You know what this is? This is the last 5 minutes before you leave your hotel room for a night in New York and a Broadway show. That's what this is. Because the last 5 minutes when you're playing Where's My Keys and Where's Your Coat, that's the moment where you're putting on the perfume, you're putting on this cologne. And that last 5 minutes is so filled with kinetic energy for me because it's just the excitement of going out to see a show. It's the excitement of getting cleaned up and dapper. It is the cleanest you're going to get, especially if your first thing is the subway to take that to wherever you're going. I just want to try to give you a slightly clearer picture of why this is so magical. Every once in a while you find a lyricist, every once in a while you find a poet, and for some reason, maybe a filmmaker, that they are just so incredibly clever with what they're doing, like the script for the George Clooney version of Ocean's 11, or like MASH with Donald Sutherland, super clever in how it was put together and what it's really saying and those things like that, right?
There's a smart geniusness that's in there.
That sense of taking in the artwork of someone who was just born to do it. And especially with certain lyrics of like Billy Joel and stuff like that. It's just so clever that you just smile. This when I took this in for the very first time, this Baccarat Rouge 540, it just made me smile with how absolutely clever it was. And then the warm hug it was giving me when it did it.
A warm hug, that is actually that amber side. It totally makes sense, yeah.
And I didn't think that my opinion of it could get better. But if that's what this says about the Gotham Soap Company,
I'd agree.
Y'all, with both the Tom Ford and this one, these homages that we've been smelling are better
not messing
than
around.
anything we have smelled in those veins before. And they are our favorite homages. And something even about the intensity. You know? Be so good they can't ignore you.
They are potent
Make
scents.
it awesome and then turn it up. So if you like your shaving soaps, especially your homages, on the hotter levels, y'all, these are your ponies, especially in these two fragrances, because they could be on the lighter side.
Yeah, they could.
But, this is just the perfect amount to be able to sense all the music that is swirling around underneath the main characters.
Living in New York, you spend a lot more time in the subway or in elevators. You're around people a lot. So it is a really fun smell that I think other people around you would thoroughly enjoy.
Right, the hustle and bustle of New York, but also those little luxurious nooks and crannies and rooftop bars. And y'all, this being June and the month when we're going to answer the question, what did our favorite celebrities smell like? Who happened to wear Baccarat Rouge 540?
There is quite a list, but these are our top 3 that we recognize. So Olivia Rodrigo, Casey Musgraves, and Charlotte Cho. So kind of fun. Very current scent.
And
it's newer.
It's funny that there's not guys on that
I know,
list.
but I remember when we first looked this up on YouTube, all the men were the ones that were talking about the scent.
Y'all, the shaving world adores this on the guy side. I think they'd be a little offended if they try to give this their wives to steal.
But I even think on you, like the dried on you versus the dried on me, there are different features. Like maybe more of the jasmine side hits me first, and then more of the saffron gets you. So I think it really reacts to whoever's wearing it. It's a very versatile scent in the best of ways.
So it's pretty simple. Y'all grab a flight to JFK and a cab into Manhattan. They're all the same rate no matter where you're going. Find your way down to the old 5 Points neighborhood. Take a walking tour. You're going to see where that old brewery was. You're going to see where all those old riots were. And when you look up and see Pasteur Pharmacy, you just got your own! So head over to PasteurShaving.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with the 5 Points, and this is our 3rd or 4th Baccarat Rouge 540 homage, and I gotta tell you, it's my favorite. I will say it out loud. There is something about the intensity, there's something about the balance, there's something about the saffron. There is a mystery in this that my nose is still enjoying the discovery of, and there is something about the intensity that's delightful and luxurious, because you don't have to go far to discover all of the subtleties that are hiding in this when the intensity is turned up. I'm not sure who does your base, Pasteur, but this lather is unreal. I had a great time shaving with it. Fantastic post-shave feel. I wasn't worried about weepers and wanted to go off-roading and try a few new things. Thanks for this. Is there going to be a 3rd one? You say the secret word, you want a shaving brush.
These are our brushes from our friend Craig at Opus Brush, and he sent them to us so that we could have a giveaway just for you!
You get a brush of your choice here on YouTube, and the other we're going to give away on Instagram at the end of the summer on an Instagram Live with Craig himself. So all you have to do is send an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you, and then check back here on July 3rd when we're going to draw our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck!
Y'all, let's have a grown-up conversation. I have even smelled a few shaving soaps where I have fallen in love with the original formula, and I've gone to some really high-level dupe houses to smell their versions. I have gone crawling back to the Shave World artisans because there is something about their noses. I don't know, maybe especially for us guy shavers with what is traditionally a female scent.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know if maybe it's been slightly rebalanced or bumped up here and there for us guys or not, but y'all, these Gotham soaps have done absolutely magical things and have become my favorite versions of those 2 colognes, and I hope there are going to be more.
I really hope so too. If this is the 2nd one, I cannot wait to see what they have lined up next.
Oh, and I have to do a shave tomorrow morning, or I would march this into the bathroom right now.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.